Yumiko,
Yeah.
could you tell me, from your experience, what is a shaman?
So for me, I know there are so many different definitions about shaman, but for me, how I work as a shaman, I work with the spirit, like natural spirit or other spirit or fairies or different sort of spirits.
What do you mean by natural spirit?
Natural spirit are like the spirit of the tree or spirit of water, spirit
like
of
a
the
nature?
lake. Yeah, nature.
Ah,
So all the element of nature has a spiritual kind of guardian sort of spirit. So when I work with the nature, I tend to be in conversation with the nature as well, but as well as those natural spirits. Because natural spirits also look after the nature, or they bridge nature and people, animals to just make the biodiversity in harmony. So I work with them to just help them to make it harmonious, because sometimes something happens and it sometimes becomes difficult for them to maintain the harmony, or sometimes they need some purification around the area, or there's some issues around the area and they notify me and I go there and work and help them.
who notifies you?
The spirit, natural spirit. So that's part of my job. And I also work with nature to just be in tune with the nature. And I myself hold the vibration of nature to help people to connect with nature. Because nature is, we are part of nature, but we tend to forget and we tend to disconnect from nature, and we go into imbalance. We get sick, or we feel ill, or we feel bad, or all sorts of things can happen if you're completely disconnected. Not completely, but disconnected from the nature. So connecting people or the animals with nature is part of my job as a shaman. And I also work with people or the animals or the living creature tend to have some sort of spiritual disturbance sometimes. Like spiritual disturbance, do you know spiritual disturbance is?
Can you explain what that is?
Yeah, so spiritual disturbance, some people find it is something like possession by entity, or it can be haunting, or it can be poltergeist, or any sort of spiritual problem caused by the other spirit. That's part of the spiritual disturbance. Other spiritual disturbance may be your own spirit get troubled or lost or in a negative vibration, and you kind of feel lost. So, or sometimes your personal self can't connect with your spiritual aspect, so you get lost, or any sort of problem related to the spirits or spiritual aspect I can deal with, like evil spirits or evil spirit as well, or some sort of significantly scary spiritual disturbance you can see in the movies, horror movies. Those horror movies are quite real actually. Those things actually happens. So when these things happen, many people don't know if it is a spiritual problem. They think they are just unlucky, or they just made some mistakes. But when it is a spiritual problem, without the spiritual intervention, it wouldn't be solved, and those problems just continue. So if someone realizes, oh, this is a spiritual problem, and if they manage to find me, I can help them to just solve such problem.
I see.
Yeah, so that's part of my job. And another job is I also do the light work. Light work is something which is not for money, but for it's the natural spirit work is also part of light work, but some light work is a really big one. And sometimes we do the light work in a team, like a team of shamans and other workers, to just make certain condition or situation improve in a way that people or the animals can live in a peace, or to avoid certain disaster. So that sort of light work I tend to be called upon. Or if there's places in the world which need spiritual intervention or the shamanic intervention, but they don't have any shamans around, sometimes I get called to this area through people.
You said earlier that you sometimes do shamanic work to avoid a disaster. Could you give any example of what kind of thing that might be?
For example, if there is certain negativity accumulated and just becoming stronger and stronger in certain area, like a spiritually cursed area, if the problem becomes too big, that can cause some disaster, like, I don't know, natural disaster sometimes, or accidents, or series of scary crimes, or like you see in the horror movies, that sort of thing can happen. And when the negativity becomes such a trouble in that area, sometimes the natural spirit contact the people who is living there, and somehow they connect to me. So, for example, somebody in that area come to me and they are not completely sure about the problem, but they will create a reason, or they will create a cause, so that I visit them. So it can be something like I want to go to some concert in that area. All of a sudden, out of nowhere it happened, and I feel strongly attracted. And it's not reasonable. Like, I don't really like that concert, but I feel I really need to go there. Or if it's not a concert, I suddenly want to visit that place somehow. And I really need to go there at certain time without no reason. So that's sort of intriguing, or just sudden wanting or sudden desire to go somewhere tend to be a calling.
Can people who are not shamans, for some reason they're wanting to go somewhere, whatever, and something happens, and they're like, oh, I was here for that reason, even that they are not shamans, but they, in that process that you said, there's some kind of calling for people that we shouldn't ignore sometimes, or that we...
That's not called calling. Calling is particularly for shamans or light work. But what you just explained is a message that you want to go somewhere for a reason. It can be your karma, it can be to meet someone. So that's not calling.
Okay.
That's a message. Yeah.
Thank you. Are there any other kinds of things that you do with shamanism, like still explaining what actually shamanism is?
So as a shaman, what I do, I actually, because what people expect a shaman to be, I do all sorts of things, but I don't use medicine, or I don't use herbs. I don't use any chemical substance or anything.
Yes.
But I help people to just connect with their previous lives, because their previous life is also spiritual aspect of who they are. And when they have some issues about their previous life, when there is unresolved problem, which significantly become meaningful in this lifetime, people tend to suffer from that problem. Then I can reconcile between this previous life and current life to just help the person to learn from their previous life, or do what people call previous life healing. So I do work a lot about previous lives, and it's not only about their own previous life, but their previous life can be connected to some area, to some other spirits, or sometimes evil spirits or natural spirit. Then I will work with those spirits. So it may be some sort of calling sometimes, but that sort of work. And I also help when one of the family members suddenly dies and you don't know why they die, or you can't just let go because there is something which you are not clear about the situation, or you didn't manage to see the person before they die, and you just can't let go of this sort of, they maybe needed me, but I couldn't be there, or there should be some message I should have heard from them. Then they can't just be happy. And I help people to just connect with them. I can become a middle person and help them converse. And when I do it, I'm not just doing it for reading or psychic reading sort of. I'm not becoming a kind of device.
Yeah.
But I only do it to help this person who is alive, as well as the dead people, to be healed. So it's just for the healing purpose I do, connecting the dead people and people who are alive to just resolve the issue which is unresolved. When the issue is resolved, the living person no longer wish to talk to them. So then they can start focusing in their real life rather than focusing on the past life or the past or the dead people. They can move forward. So that's something I do as well.
Can anybody become a shaman, or do you have to be born a shaman? Is it because of your past life? Or what makes someone a shaman? Can you train to become a shaman? Like, how do you become a shaman?
First of all, there are so many different definitions about shaman. So it depends on what sort of shaman you want to become. If you just want to channel and call yourself shaman, you can train to channel. And if you just want to talk to dead people, I don't know, there may be certain ways. So it depends on what you want. But in order to do what I'm doing, you need to be born with a gift, generally speaking. Even if you are a son or daughter of a shaman, it doesn't mean you will be born with a gift.
Right.
So I think your spirit needs to be wanting to help spirits to become a shaman.
Somebody who's had multiple lifetimes, maybe they've been a businessman, or maybe they've been a parent with no big abilities spiritually. Is it possible that people like that could in another lifetime be born as a shaman?
Yeah, you can't be born as a shaman normally. I was born as a shaman, but it's very rare. You may born with a gift, but just having a gift, you can't become a shaman. There's many people who are born with a gift and never become a shaman. So you have to be trained to be a shaman. You have to be initiated to be a shaman. Having a gift is not enough. You have to have a lot of conditions needs to be met. First of all, you need to be born with a gift, and you need to be trained to be a shaman. So you need a teacher. You also need a supporting environment, because becoming a shaman is quite hard stuff. Like if you are becoming a shaman, you will be initiated by spirits, and you'll be going through a lot of difficulty to train yourself, to make you strong, to make you able to heal others. You have to go through a lot of challenges and hardship and pain to be compassionate, to be understanding, to be able to be respected by the spirit, that you can work with them, that they will trust you. So it's a lot of work to become a shaman. Yeah.
if you look online, there's hundreds of shaman training courses. So how is your training different? And how do you initiate people to be a shaman?
So first of all, to be fair, there's so many training courses which I haven't checked either, so I can't judge or I can't see what they are for.
Okay.
But I think they are aiming some sort of shamanism. They are aiming to train people in some sort of shamanism or some sort of shamanic skill. Then they can call themselves shamans. So I don't know what they mean by shaman to start with. And I think training the shaman is not easy, but it depends on what sort of shaman you want to become. So my training is very different. It's I am sharing my gift with others by alchemy, because I'm also alchemist. And the way I use alchemy is really unusual. So people, many of my students as well, but people can't believe just by training you can become a shaman. I can only talk about my training because I don't know about other people's training. But in my training, I spend 3 months every single day training them spiritually for 3 months, except weekend. So for 3 months or 4 months, we train them every day to make them strong and make them loving. I mean, help them to be a shaman. So as well as I initiate them with my gift. And I also work around them to just create a spiritual support system, because when you become a shaman, you're not working on your own. You're working with the spirit. So you have to build a trust with the spirit to become a shaman. That's why spirit initiates you to be one. So I help them to go through that initiation in a less painful, less scary way. So that would happen.
Can you explain what you mean about you share your gift by initiation?
So this is my personal choice.
Yes.
But I was living my life, and in my life I was told from a childhood by many people that you're different, and sometimes I'm special. And when I started to teach healing or shamanism, they saw me very special, and I didn't want to become a special person. I saw everyone special. I may be gifted, but I didn't want to become the only one. Part of the reason is I can't heal so many people. I can't heal everyone. Rather, I can share my gift so people can experience this fantastic job, that you can actually help people and save people from the pain. You can change people's lives, which is really empowering, not only for them, but for the workers like me. Like, people can change, people can heal, people can be happier from the despair or any situation. You don't have to give up, that sort of experience. So I somehow developed the way to initiate, way to share my gift with others, and let them be able to do exactly what I can do. So when I train somebody as a shaman, they can do exactly or as much as, or sometimes more than I can do. And also I respect each person's uniqueness and individuality. I'm sharing my gift, and they use my gift with their own passion, with their own path. They are not a copy of me, they are individual. So when they receive my gift and work as a shaman, they can do completely different way of work than I do. They can help people from a very bad spiritual disorder or disturbance if the person wants to be helped. So, yeah, and I can do that because I see, I'm an alchemist, so I know we are one. So I can see them as part of me. So that's how I can initiate my gift. So it just happened. It's probably something really unusual. I don't know. I haven't compared to anyone else, but people say it's very different. But it happens.
May I ask, how many shamans have you trained?
Oh my God. I don't know. It's probably nearly 200 to, I don't know, quite a lot. I have never counted. Maybe 300.
Was this only in Japan or is it around?
No, they are around the world.
Oh.
Maybe I should be talking about what will happen if the person is born with a gift. If you're born with a gift, you can't escape from it. But maybe I don't have to say it, but many people try to escape. But it's very difficult. I mean, if the gift is not so big, you might be able to just manage to live relatively normal life. But if the gift is properly gift, you wouldn't be successful whatever you do. You really have to work as a shaman.
Have you ever had anyone come to you
Yeah.
who is with a gift or is a shaman and they've asked you if you are able to remove it because they don't want it? And what would be their reason for wanting to remove this gift?
Because they don't want to become a shaman. Because it's hard work.
Because of the burden?
You have to dedicate your life to be a shaman. So it's hard work.
And just for clarity, we're talking about the kind of shaman that you've explained in this video. We're not talking about maybe because you said not a shaman who's maybe just channeling only.
I mean, they can call themselves shaman, but that's not really shaman.
Right. Okay.
But maybe there are people who is wondering why they can't be happy in doing other things. There are some people who are destined to be a shaman. And I can remove the gift by reconciling with the other spirit who are preparing them to be a shaman and just talk to them that this person is not wanting and la la la. It takes days to do that sometimes. Sometimes it only takes 2-3 days. Sometimes there are so many spirits waiting for this person to become a shaman, and I have to convince everyone. It's a significant thing because they can help so much. You know, it may be scary things, but to make one shaman, people dedicate their lives.
There seems to be a lot of shamans that traditionally, with their culture, use a lot of medicines, herbs, and some of those may be drugs, even hallucinogenic drugs. You can, I mean, now it's quite popular in South America, I don't know if anywhere else, to do ayahuasca ceremonies. So what's the reason why shamans would be using drugs?
I'm sure they are working with natural spirit to be advised to create such medicine or the potion. And shaman, I think what I know, shaman should be able to go into trance by themselves, but if you're not born with a gift, you can't do it. So you need the help from medicine or some substance to get into trance, to journeying, to do the journeying. So they need some sort of chemical in their ceremony to go into the trance. And if they know what they are doing, that should be fine. But I don't have to use drugs to go into trance. I am actually, maybe, I don't know if this is special, but I can put people in trance without medicine. So I don't need to use it.
How do you do that?
I just can. I just can. So from this method, I think I use this method of putting people in trance. It can be useful to train people to meditate, because in trance, it's quite similar to when you are meditating. So using the trance techniques, you can help people to experience a meditative state. It's different, but I am born with that gift, so I can put people in trance. I can put myself in trance. So to just because for shamanism, trance and being in ecstasy, which is a connection with God or the spiritual world, is essential to work with the spirit. You have to be in trance to work with the spirit. So being in trance is very important. So I'm sure when they use ayahuasca or some sort of a substance, they know what they're doing, I think. And they are also working with natural spirit to create a medicine. So I hope they are doing it safely and for the purpose. And if they can do the job by doing so, maybe it's okay, but I just don't do that.
Over the last 20 years or perhaps more, there's a huge explosion of tourism to South America to do ayahuasca, for people to do it. But would this come under the label of shamanism, or is it more like go to South America and try drugs and hallucinate?
I think it depends on who is doing it. If the proper shaman who is in touch with the nature, who is in touch with the natural spirit, and just using the ayahuasca in a safe and beneficial way for the people, with a clear purpose of spiritual awakening or spiritual healing, then I think it will be beneficial. It's potentially beneficial. But I think there are people who are pretending to be a shaman. That's possible. So you have to be careful, I think, who you work with.
Now that you've mentioned that, there's many people out there that may have some spiritual problem, a disturbance, maybe a haunting or something like that. They may even have a bad luck running through their family, or all kinds of things with the local town or their land or village where they live. And they may at some point decide that they would like to find a shaman. For those people that are desperately looking for a shaman, to avoid the ones who may be pretending and to avoid getting tricked, for example, what could they look for? How could they avoid being, are there any red flags? How could they avoid being tricked? Or how can they know that they found a real shaman? How can they know they found a real shaman that is capable of doing what they need?
The first thing they need to do is, these things are happening for a reason. And if they need a really good help, they need to have that vibration similar to the help, so they can attract the help. Make their vibration slightly higher so they can attract the help.
How can they do that?
So one way is, I'm not religious, but I sometimes give people mantra to just make their vibration higher. They are not believing, they don't have to believe in it. The mantra has a higher vibration. And when you are repeatedly saying the mantra, your vibration actually becomes a bit higher. And there is suddenly a point where you can connect with the help. So that's one way. So the mantra can be anything, like a really high. One of the hint is don't be too religious. You don't have to understand the mantra. The mantra itself is high frequency. So you can just keep doing it 3 times a day, or that sort of thing. 3 times in the morning, 3 times in the day, end of the day, every day.
But is there any particular mantras, or is it just, if, for example, if someone is Islamic, could they find an Islamic mantra? If they are Christian, can they find a Christian prayer?
So to find the right mantra for you is, you find the mantra, when you recite it, you feel lighter, you feel happier, you feel clearer. Because I only have Japanese mantra, so it would be difficult for English people or other countries' people. But you can find, and the mantra doesn't have to be religious as well. You can find a word which make you feel lighter and clearer. If you find a word, your favorite word, you can just recite with your heart. Like it's best to be unconditional. The unconditional will be you are reciting it towards something beautiful, like beautiful sky, beautiful water, beautiful flower. So your vibration will be resonating with that beauty, and it will be rising. So it's more about finding something joyful or beautiful, which you feel clearer or happier, and just say the word 3 times in the morning and 3 times in the afternoon. Find something beautiful in your life. It can be a small thing. It can be a little stone you found beautiful. Finding beauty in your life is a way to heal your soul. So that's one way. Then if you're lucky, just by doing that, your problem can be solved. And if your problem is such a huge problem, you need an intervention by shaman, then you will see somebody who knows somebody. So you will be connected to the right help.
I've heard stories from people that have paid huge amounts of money and by shamans, and maybe it helped, maybe it didn't help, but they've paid fortunes to shamans, and it feels like that's a bit of a red flag, you know. So how, not everyone's repeating mantras, not everyone has the opportunity to know that. So are there any other ways that someone can know how to avoid a shaman that may not be the right one for them?
So everything happened for a reason. If you met some really bad shaman, and if you might lose a lot of money, maybe you needed to just clear your energy. So what I want people to be aware of is you always need to make decision by yourself and be happy with your decision, whatever happens. So that's one thing. And even when you're working with, he's charging so much money, and if you don't think it's not right, don't do it. Even if the person tells you, you will be saved, you will be happy, and you have to pay this amount. Maybe you are desperate, so you just want to pay anyway. But always make decision. Always be happy with your decision. Then pay it. And when you pay, when you ask for the work, try to be grateful. And if you can't be grateful, maybe that's not the right one. Like always make your choice and be responsible about your choice. Be happy about your choice. And if you can't be happy, maybe you shouldn't do it. And when you do it, if you just be really happy. I mean, if you can achieve that, maybe you are not suffering that problem. But if you try to be really happy and grateful, your vibration itself can heal the problem, and your positive vibration even can make the bad healer better. So we have all this power. We all have this power to change the world. Anyone has the power. So in a way, you don't have to meet a powerful, wonderful, best shaman. You just need to become one. I mean, you don't have to be a shaman, but you have to really think about it. Be happy about your choice. And if you make a choice, be responsible for it. Try to be happy about it. If you can't, don't do it. If you make a choice, be happy about it. Don't complain, but just try to be grateful from the bottom of your heart, and just let the work done. You will be, I think that's the best way to change your destiny. Because by the end of the day, it is you who is going to change it, nobody else. You can ask for help, but it's always you who will change your destiny, nobody else. So, yeah. So also, if you really want to find the right shaman, you want to research about shaman, or you want to research about your problem, and as you gain the knowledge, you will probably gain some skills to just see if this is the right one or if this is a good one. Gathering information and knowledge is one way for you to be happy about your choice. Because if you don't have any information, if you don't have any knowledge, you can't be happy about your choice, because you can't judge if you're making right decision. So trying to be responsible about your problem is a very good step forward, because without it, you have to own your problem first. This is a common issue that in my healing training, I teach the healing process. In the first step of the healing process, I mean, in order to start to heal, you have to accept your problem. You have to face your problem. You have to realize and understand, I have this problem. I have to change. I have to make choices. I have to live this life. So that's the starting point. As soon as you face your problem, you will know what to do with it. Then you can attract the right person. So researching process can help you to understand what's actually happening to you. And it might help you to understand different choices you have about the problem. It doesn't have to be a shaman. It may be something else. But I think it's a good step forward to just gather more information about your problem, try to understand. Not only internet, if you can meditate, maybe meditation, or if you can just look around you and be aware of what's the message around you, what you are attracted to. Yeah. So you can be more mindful. Yeah.
Lots of people believe that to be a shaman, you need to be from a specific culture or born into that tribe or something like that, that they may feel that by becoming a shaman, you may be an imposter into a specific culture, that you can only be maybe a South American from a specific tribe or area or village, and then okay, that can be a shaman and wear specific clothes. What are your feelings on that?
I don't know. There are many shamans in different fields. Like I've been teaching and helping shamans for a long time. One of the shaman I helped was a newborn baby. The baby, before their birth, she was already a shaman. So she attracts spirits, and her mom, who is pregnant with her, didn't know what to do. Suddenly a lot of spirits came to her, and she can't deal with spirit, but she is dealing with it. So I start training the baby in the womb. So I did the same. When I was in my mother's womb, I already started doing the spiritual practice, shamanic practice, healing the spirit. So I know exactly what she was doing. So I helped the baby. When she's born, she was more grounded. She had more boundary, so the parent wouldn't be in trouble. So then she took, one day, the mom took the baby to the temple, and the monk of the temple was amazed because there were 3 evil spirits in the temple. Nobody could get rid of. The baby did. As soon as she arrived, all these spirits has gone. So the monks was amazed about the baby. So it was in a way proven by the monk. So I'm just giving you the example. You don't have to be born in a particular family, in a particular culture. Actually, she's born in a normal family, normal Japanese culture, far away from shamanism. And she's certainly a shaman. And I also, it's the opposite. I also met an 80 years old shaman. She didn't declare, she hasn't declared anybody that she's a shaman. So it's a secret. So she had a session with me, and she kind of whispered, "This is the secret between you and me. You're not going to tell my daughter that I'm dealing with spirits." So in the kitchen, whenever she's cooking, there are spirits queuing up to be healed by her. So it's hard work, and she's already 80 years old. So she kind of asked, "Is there anything you can help me to just make it easier?" So I help shaman. So I taught her my way of healing spirits. Then there's no longer a queue in the kitchen for her. So you never know, because many shamans don't tell people they are shaman, and they can be secretly active as a shaman, and the culture or the background doesn't really matter.
Are there any other risks that a person should be aware of?
You have to be careful. There are fake ones, a lot of fake ones, I'm sure, because I don't know, but there are so many. I mean, I shouldn't say so many, but certain numbers of clients who came to me saying that they have paid so much money to all these shamans, they never did any work, nothing improved, and they just got robbed of money, and they don't have any money by the time they come to me. So I can see that there are a lot of fake shamans, and if it's fake shamans, sometimes they can curse people. I mean, if the shamans, I don't know if they're really shaman, but some people with similar ability to shaman who can deal with evil spirits can curse people or put some really negative energy on them. So you have to be mindful. You have to be really making your own choice. But whatever happened to you, even if this happened to you, if you are, as I recommended you, if you are just focused on something beautiful in your life, even it is a small thing, and just find your favorite word that you feel right, and just make your vibration higher, you will eventually find some solution or find someone who can help you. And all these experiences you had in your past, whatever negative it is, they will be all your gift. Once you kind of maybe meet somebody who can help you, or maybe one day you got spiritually awakened, and when you're spiritually awakened, whatever experience you had in your life, everything become a treasure, and everything become necessity, You will understand one day when you awaken. That's why many people want to be awakened spiritually, I think, because it's the happiest moment of life, that you are suddenly acknowledge yourself that you have made all right decisions about your life. You just had the challenges and difficulties, but you overcame, and you are standing here to be happy. So one day it will happen to everyone, I hope.
I want to ask about how do you know if a session's worked, as in, like, you know, there should be changes. The client should know, like they should definitely know. But also, I wanted to ask about, can you give me some like examples of shamanism in action, like case study examples, just short examples, like there's this or there could be that.
It's very difficult for many people to see if it's a spiritual problem, because a spiritual problem is invisible, and you can be suffering mental or physical condition. You go to the hospital, nothing improves. Medicine doesn't work. Or you have so many unlucky, unfortunate events all around your life. Can be spiritual issue. Yeah, first of all, medicine doesn't work often. If it does, you will have continuous problem. So you have so much unluck, like everything's so unfortunate, and it may be sometimes just you, but sometimes your family members start to just have similar symptoms or problems. Then when things continue to happen like that, you can consider it may be a spiritual issue. And some people think, oh, I have a spiritual disturbance, but sometimes it's not spiritual disturbance. Sometimes it can be mental condition. So there is a fine line to decide. But if you think it may be a spiritual problem, and you can just try to find the right shaman, hopefully, and consult with them. And if they are honest, right shaman, they will tell you if it is or not. Sometimes they might have to channel, so they might charge you for a session, but they can tell you. But so when the spiritual work is done, you suddenly feel so light. All the problems, mental, physical condition suddenly leaves you. Like you suddenly become so light, as if it was a bad dream. And your social problems also disappeared, so everything becomes so well. Especially after suffering spiritual issues, you kind of learned some lesson from it. So you just go into the positive, happy time of the life. So it's a kind of blessing. Like some people wish this is a spiritual problem, because spiritual problem, when the shaman works on it, everything solves. Like you're becoming a new person, as if it was all bad dream. But if it is not a spiritual problem, you need to heal here and you need to do that, and you have to have a lot of different effort. But if it is a spiritual problem, just having a right shaman working on it, everything becomes completely different. So it's really obvious if it is a spiritual problem, and if the shaman does the job, it is normally really obvious. If it's not obvious, maybe the shaman is not working the right way, or maybe your problem is not a spiritual problem and shaman couldn't see it.
Are there any other kinds of case studies or things where
so there are some people like own a lot of land.
Yes.
Or they have family spiritual issue which continued from their ancestors. So it's old family spiritual problems. That can be a really big problems. Sometimes it takes more days to heal. Or sometimes they have so many lands and certain lands has problems So that's a quite different way of spiritual issue. And sometimes we create a project, a team of shamans and onmyoji and other workers to work together to make it more easier. Because sometimes one shaman can't hold everything if there's so many issues. And yeah, that sort of problem can happen. And when the issue was lifted, people living in that area all become lighter. So it's really significant. So people start to feel lighter, and there are better shops, better restaurants, better supermarket in the area. So it's quite obvious if the work is done. So it's a blessing. It's scary to have a spiritual issue, but if you know it's a spiritual issue, and if you find the right shaman, it's an amazing change you can expect. So yeah.
How about situations where there's been maybe a horrific murder or horrific situations, or even in the old days where there's been battles and so many people have died in one particular area? Does that stay in the land?
Yeah, it stays in the land. So for that sort of problem, I sometimes get the calling and go there and heal the area and cleanse the area. And I think it's not only me, many shamans will be called to such area and cleanse the area. So yeah, when there is even just one murder can just make the property problemed. Like anybody who lives there will be killed, or they kill themselves, and that continuously happen, what happened over here. So that sort of thing needs shaman's attention to just create the spiritual karma of the place and just heal the land. You have to do a lot of work, because there are many people dead there who needs to be healed. Even though they may be dead hundreds of years ago, if they are not healed, the land will hold the energy and the memory of this tragedy and tend to cause similar thing again. So people will avoid living in that area, or land will be left. But I'm sure many shamans will be attracted. So over time, it will get cleaner. But yeah, but shaman works there, and it can just improve the land significantly. Depends on the scale of the problem.
Can I also ask, is there a limit to the size of the area? What if it's like a whole town or a whole city?
That's possible.
Could like a whole country? Am I aiming too high?
So then the whole city, whole town happens often.
Right.
And whole city, you have other people living there. So it's not very simple, because it's really complex with other people's karma, other people's destiny. So you need those permissions sometimes. So as a light worker, you don't need a permission, but you don't work with people, you work with the area. So there are many ways to deal with that situation. I also work as a light worker, as a shaman as well. So I can create the whole city. I have never done the whole country, but I can create the whole city to some extent. But it doesn't mean that I create everything. I'm just helping as much as I can do with my ability, and other shaman will be called to do the same. And one thing I think it's important to mention is everything happens for a reason, and everything is there for a reason. So the reason needs to be respected. By respecting the reason, by fulfilling the reason, you can solve the problem. The way to heal the spiritual problem is fulfilling the reason, fulfilling the cause. Otherwise, it wouldn't be healed. Because it's not something, it's not a problem. It is waiting for something to happen. Like if you have really negative experience, in the future you will use that negative experience to learn something about your destiny, about yourself, about the world, and you will find your purpose through that experience. So without that experience, you might not be able to realize your purpose. So everything which looks negative also holds some meaning to it. So as a shaman or healer, you need to respect the reason, you need to respect the purpose to help. So my aim when I'm working as a shaman is help the person to achieve the purpose, help the problem to achieve the purpose, help the spirit to achieve the purpose, so it fulfill their destiny, so they can finally leave, or so they can finally, so the person can find something great. So it is always blessing. So it's not negative, it's just hard. It's very hard.
Is there any difference between the way that shamans would talk to dead people and the way that a clairvoyant or medium would talk to a dead person? Or is it that they're doing the similar thing but different intention? Or are there big differences on what's happening?
It probably depends on the person, because when they are calling medium, they may be shaman, you never know. But I see the difference between medium and shaman is, as a shaman, we can call anyone. We can just call any people, anybody who died or even still alive. We can talk to them.
Still alive?
Still alive as well.
Can you explain what you mean by that?
Like we can talk to the spirit.
Of that person?
Of the person. And you have the authority to talk to them. Like if you're medium, you can't just call anyone, right? You can't call them, you can't choose them. But as a shaman, you can choose. You can choose to talk to certain people. Yeah. So because you are helping all the spirit to heal, so all the purpose related to talking to dead people for a shaman is to heal.
Always
to heal.
In the goal.
Always heal and guide. So that's why they respond. And we as a shaman, we just don't talk to random people because we don't want to. So if the client asks you to talk to someone, if it's just for fun, I wouldn't do it. I would only do it for the healing of this person and the spirit.
Could you tell me the role of shamanism in people that may be dying? Is there any role there for a shaman?
Yeah. I can help them to guide. We can guide them to die in peace. Like, because some people who they aren't aware they are dead, or they have some unsolved issue or attachment, then I can help them to experience those and learn from the life they have already lived, or that sort of thing. I sometimes use a dragon to let them visit their previous lives, to just understand why this happened in this lifetime, that sort of thing. So I do that, and sometimes when the family member, I mean, it's not always happened, but it happened many times, but the family member want me to help the person who is dying, I will talk to them, and
to their spirit,
to the spirit who is dying, and say, your family member still needs you for another 10 years maybe. And we just talk sometimes, and sometimes they say, okay, I will live, and they will come back to life. So that happens. I mean, not because I'm talking, I'm just helping them to find their purpose. I'm just connecting them to their purpose, because being spiritual, living a spiritual life is all about living your spiritual purpose. So as a shaman, I help people to find their spiritual purpose. Even the person who is dying, I help to find the spiritual purpose. And maybe the purpose they haven't found, I sometimes do, because it's not only when they want to be still alive, but some people are really stubbornly like, I am actually dying, I had enough, I am going, I have another life to live. Okay, then I will help them in such way, and I will help to heal their family member, that they accept the death of this person. So it's a lot of healing involved on both sides, for the person who is dying and the family who is losing this person. So I heal both to just make the death of this person meaningful and peaceful and somehow happy for on both sides. Because dying is not a bad thing. It is just time to go. Yeah. But sometimes it's too hard for family. So then I can help in the middle.
Are there any other areas of shamanism that you would like to talk about?
Other areas?
Yeah, are there any other areas?
そうだね、being a shaman, I mean, I try not to, but I can see the spirit, and there are spirits all around the world. You can't live your life not as a shaman. You're constantly a shaman. You can't choose to be not to be shaman on certain occasion. You are constantly working 24 hours as a shaman.
When you say 24 hours, but you're sleeping?
When you're sleeping as well.
So does that mean that when you're sleeping,
I'm healing.
Are you aware of that, or is it something that's being done?
I don't know about the other people, other shamans.
In your experience?
I am constantly healing, constantly guiding at a different dimension, at a different level. So, but I am protecting this human, this person. So I just protect my body and mind, and I teach the other shaman to do the same. You can't just live your life, sometimes shaman, no. Once you are awakened as a shaman, you are shaman for the whole life.
That sounds like a huge responsibility.
It is a huge responsibility, and you use a lot of energy working as a shaman. So when I train a shaman, I train not only the person, but I train the family member as well. Train them to be stronger, more energetic. So sometimes through the shamanic training, some of the family members got really strong or better. They recover from illness sometimes because they need to be stronger to support this person as a shaman, as a part of family member. So it is a big responsibility, and you use a lot of energy. And if you decided not to be a shaman anymore, I can also help the person to become not shaman, stop being a shaman. But their body and their energy system are built to be a shaman. So when they stop becoming a shaman, they become so powerful and light. They become so energetic, like they have so much energy to use because they were using it all for doing the shamanic work and no longer, so they can use this energy for something else. Yeah. So you realize how hard work you have been doing as a shaman when you stop being a shaman. The shaman I work, I'm not defining all the shamans. Yeah.
I was going to say that because you mentioned earlier that there's so many different kinds of shamans.
Yeah, so many different kinds.
And so we're talking specifically about the shamanism from your experience, from what you've done all of your life. Is there any other area of shamanism that...
Actually, most of the shamans are just shaman, obviously shaman to the spirit. But I also train my student to be a slightly secretly shaman. Like, so they wouldn't be so visible.
Visible
Visible by people, visible by 3D spirit. Like because many shaman who are born as a shaman, who are working as a shaman, it's a daily physically hard work. So I train people to use a higher dimension to work as a shaman, so they don't tire their body too much. Because many shamans suffer physical problems because it's such a hard work. So that's one of the specialty I do. That's how I've been teaching and helping shamans from different traditions. Like those people who are already shaman, who I didn't train to be a shaman, but they are suffering because it's hard work. And I can make the work easier. Like the woman I mentioned about who was 80 years old, that they can't just do this anymore. All these shaman spirits are queuing up. I can just help it a bit easier for her. So they can also enjoy a life as a person, not only just a shaman. I mean, not just a shaman, but when you're a shaman, most of your life is dedicated to being a shaman. But I want them to live their life as a person as well. So I just help people to make working as a shaman a bit easier by doing what I'm doing. So I train people doing so as well. Train shamans.
So if there's anybody watching this who believes they've been born with such a gift, or they believe that they are destined to be a shaman, and they don't know what to do with it, and they don't know how to go further, and they may have read books, they may have done this, but they don't feel satisfied that it's enough. Do you have any suggestions on what those kind of people can do?
I think it is a very individual, personal thing. So I can't give a kind of direct, definite answer. But I think first thing you need to do is to learn to meditate. Because meditation helps you to gain your own answer. It's essential, I mean, it's beneficial for anyone if they're not shaman or not. But I think being born with such a gift is a responsibility. And sometimes you feel guilty, sometimes you feel burdened. But it is always you who needs to make choice about your life. And when you are burdened with such a responsibility, it's difficult to make choices. So I recommend such person to learn to meditate. And just through the meditation, you will find your answer. You will know what is right for you. Then you can attract whatever need you need. Of course I can help, of course I can train, but I think meditation is a first step for anyone. I think it's very important.
And would it apply the same as earlier you were talking about someone who's in desperate need of help because of negativity or issues in their life or spiritual problems? You advise maybe a good step is to start getting your own vibration higher. Could they, through meditation, through mantras, hopefully they may attract the right teacher?
When you have spiritual disturbance, it's almost impossible to meditate. Yeah, I don't think they can meditate when you have spiritual disturbance. Yeah. So if you have spiritual disturbance, of course, as advice. But this is the case with the shaman who is not suffering spiritual disturbance and just don't know what to do with their gift. Then I will recommend to learn to meditate. Yeah, and I know it's difficult to learn to meditate. So maybe they will find something good for them. I also teach meditation in online course, but they will find their preferred way to meditate. Maybe mindfulness meditation may be a good start.
Some people may not realize that they are a shaman, and they may have just been maybe, talking ability. They know that they can see spirit. They know that they can help spirit, but they may not realize that they are a shaman. Is that fine? Or can those people go further by, is there anything that those people can do who just naturally seem to be doing it and they didn't realize that they can go further?
They don't have to go further if they don't need to. I mean, some people can just see the spirits, which doesn't mean a shaman. Some people can just heal the spirit. Like my student who do Mamoru practice can actually cleanse and heal the spirit to some extent. But they are not shaman. So just being able to see the spirit and heal the spirit doesn't mean you're destined to be a shaman. When you are destined to be a shaman, you can't do anything else. Like whatever you try to do, you fail. I mean, it's hard, but then you will feel maybe I have something to do. I need to do something else. And I think, as I said, meditation is the best way forward. Or you find somebody like me or somebody who can channel to help you to understand your destiny. That may be a good idea. I mean, not talking to just one person. You need to talk to a lot of people. Maybe they tell you all the same thing. Then you consider, oh, maybe I need to be a shaman. Then you can, I am also here to help, but you can also search for something. It's not only internet. You just want to meet somebody. Then it can happen. It doesn't have to be just directly meeting the teacher. You might see somebody who knows somebody and who knows somebody, and you can just indirectly connect to whoever you need to meet. So, yeah, I recommend meditation anyway.
Do you think that shamanism is something that is growing?
Actually, because of the ascension, because of the change of this universe and the world, we are here to be awakened as an individual, unique being. And to be unique is not easy because we are kind of educated to behave in certain way, achieve in certain way, work in certain way. So when you're becoming original, unique, you sometimes need to really listen to yourself and be something who nobody has done before, which is really difficult. And in this kind of awakening process, connection to the nature is essential. So the nature will help you to live that. You see the nature, there's so many different animals, different plants are coexisting in harmony. This harmony is something you need to live your unique self. They don't really kind of reconcile with the others, asking if this is okay. They are not doing that, animals or plant. They are just living what it is. So that's where we need to be going. To be able to do that, we need a connection with the nature, which is helped by the shaman. But the shaman is the one who is connected with nature so deeply. So by connecting to the nature, you tend to become slightly shamanic. So in such way, maybe more and more people become shamanic because they will be more connected to nature. They will be connected to the nature, they will understand what the nature is directing them. They will listen to themselves, but they will listen to the nature and they will feel the oneness and everything. So I think the humankind is going towards becoming, not becoming, but towards the shamanic path to connect with the nature, because that's the easiest and essential way to become your unique self. to be awakened who you are, to be spiritually awakened, and awaken as who you are as well, like self-realization. So maybe shamanism or shamanic path can help many people to just connect with the nature, connect with who they really are. But it doesn't mean you need to become a shaman.
Does shamanism conflict with religion?
No, shamanism is a universal thing. It's not working with religions or culture. Shamanism is beyond the culture. Shamanism is about the nature and about the spirit. So it also doesn't mean from particular culture shamans will be born. It's not that. It's more like certain culture appreciates shamanism. Certain culture appreciates shamans. And it's easier for the shaman to be identified as a shaman. There are many shamans, I'm sure, in the Western world, but they don't talk about it because there's no appreciation of shamanism in the Western culture, for example. So I think it's not about religion or culture at all.
And finally, has there been any valuable lesson that you have learned as being a shaman?
So for me, most amazing valuable moment or learning which I gained as a shaman is when I was working with a very dark spirit, very evil spirit, like untouchable spirit. I'm always have positive, unconditional positive regard to everyone who I work with. And I was just simply asking why you are doing this for the spirit who is kind of doing really bad thing. And he started to just talk about, why a little bit. So I kind of found, so you actually want to help others. I just helps him understand that he is actually, because I thought. And the moment I said that, he also realized that was where I started. And this dark, evil being suddenly started to shine from within and just transformed in front of my eyes into the being of light, as if he has been the angel all through, disguised in the dark spirit. But this guy realized that was my purpose. And together with those evil spirits he was having around, because evil spirits tend to have a kind of blind others and create a gang. So he had the gang. But together with the gang, they all become the being of light and become a spiritual group to help others. And I didn't expect that to see. So I was really moved. And it made me really realize even the darkest point, there is love. Everything is made of love. And even the very bad person is actually love, if they are given the opportunity to remember what they really want. So for my task, I realized my task is to help these spirits remember what they really, really want. And that's a healing. So from that moment, I wanted to work as a shaman professionally. Before that, I was hiding I'm a shaman, even though it was obvious. But I didn't really want to be actively working as a shaman. But from that moment on, I came out and I started to be teaching as a teacher. And I started to teach shamans because it's such a wonderful work.
Thank you ever so much. Thank you for all of your knowledge, stories, wisdom, and everything.
Thank you for your question and this opportunity to talk about it.
Thank you.
Thank you.